Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your gorgeous, beautiful, succulent faces back to the channel. E4 to start the game, of course. Opponent responds E5. We attack that pawn all day long. How do they defend it? Likely with the knight. If they play a Philidor, you'll see me hurl myself out my window. It was nice knowing you all. No, we of course play on. D4 no matter what. We just want to attack. They can take, they can bring the bishop out, they take. Now if I take with a queen, I get attacked by a knight, and, maybe I go for, like, queen a4, that's a4 max, not a5, but it just all looks a bit weird, so I'm just going to simply take. Alright, I'm not here for any shenanigans. I just simply want to win today, and I want to win quick. Let's develop a knight. This looks logical. Over-defend this pawn if we can. Let's develop a bishop, and then develop a bishop, and then lift a queen. Something along those lines. Keeping my castling options open, ideally. Again, let's over-defend this pawn. Makes the most sense in the position, I think. And now I'm going to lift. Presumably my opponent is trying to short castle, which may very swiftly be met with a sacrifice. I'm kind of unsure at the moment, and then a very quick e5, opening all this up. Ideas of jumping my knight in potentially. I don't know if any of that works. I don't think it does currently. Interesting. Could go back. But then you just attack again. I take, though. Could go forwards. You take, I take. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of that. Could just jump backwards. Probably makes the most sense, doesn't it? Apologies for my Windows notification there. I'm assuming you guys could hear that. Let's just go back. I don't want to commit to anything too stupid just yet, is my issue. Could push. Does it make any sense currently? Maybe. Maybe pushing is actually a good idea. I actually don't hate this idea, and then recapturing with the knight if they obviously opt to take. Keeping the battery here, the light square bishop is opened up, my knight would be centralized and not easy to attack. I think I'm quite happy here. I really think I am quite happy here. I mean, I could even just simply take, right? And then long castle. I really don't hate that. I really don't hate that at all. Yeah, I think I'll take and long castle. And maybe just centralize both rooks. I think my opponent is very scared to short castle, which is understandable. I get it. It's long castle. You obviously cannot take on a2, because, well, firstly I could just take. If I were to play b3, that would be mate. So that is something to look out for. The queen cannot very easily move in now. I mean, obviously, if it was still on d8, it could just fly over to a5, but I feel pretty safe here. Bishop may be about to be kicked. But in that case, do I just sack? It feels very brave, doesn't it? It does feel a little bit brave. But then maybe I could take, and then something like bishop b5. I don't know. Bishop b5 is something that I would love to prepare. Don't know how feasible that is currently. I could attack the queen again. Presumably you just sidestep. I go here. Oh, no, not there. Here. You go forwards. Be a bit unsure what I would play there. Potentially just rook e1. Yeah, let's play rook e1. Just centralizing both rooks. This feels logical. I like my position much more. I was thinking maybe they'd take, but that would be a bit rogue, right? Because then this rook move looks very scary. And yeah, I did imagine the rook coming over to d8, but I just sort of thought I'd just step out of the way. But now I'm thinking the knight might jump in. So maybe I step this way, but then the bishop comes in, I play f3. Feels fine, right? Here, here, here. Yeah, I don't hate this position. Let's sidestep to e2, because I don't like the idea of the rook looking at my queen. Not a fan of that. So just sidestep out the way for now. I mean, it's all very well and good me having a nice attack, but my opponent also has a nice attack brewing, right? It's not the worst thing we've ever seen in the world. Queen is pretty weak. Yeah, it sort of goes without saying. Maybe I can trade this rook. They might just do that anyway. Okay, they take. I'm going to take this first. And then recapture the knight. I'm not sure how, though. Probably like this. Because then we're threatening this check. So it's take. Also, don't think a queen trade overly benefits me currently. But yeah, this check is being threatened. Just looks like a nice outpost for the knight anyway. You gotta think they just castle, right? Like, why would you not just castle? But then maybe I go here, threatening check, winning the queen. Yeah, tell you what, if they castle, I might just pre-move this. Let's just do it quickly. When you do things quickly, people don't calculate. Maybe they take, I play this. Potentially trapping the bishop. Bobby Fischer-esque. Or Spassky did it to Bobby Fischer, right? Not the other way around. That's annoying, because this is coming. Pause. Can I go here? You take. I take threatening mate. No. Might just have to slide over them. The rook coming over is quite annoying, though. Here, 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 here. We sort of reroute back this way anyway, don't we? Annoyingly. Oh, I tell you what, if we go here, though, and you... Hang on. Yeah, here, 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 here. I have this check, right? Picking up the rook. I think so. We'll go for it. I mean, they might just take anyway. They might just want to trade down when we go into an endgame. Interesting. Why would I not just play this now? You know? Are we not just winning material here? I don't want to rush into anything. Here, you take. I take, you take. I take with check. I mean... Right? What is happening? Surely this is playable. Right? I mean, the queen obviously defends, but then the rook attacks as well. Don't see how my opponent survives this. But I might just be missing something, right? I mean, maybe even this is playable. No, I wouldn't like to do that, actually. Just take. And take. I mean, my opponent has the bishop pair, which, don't get me wrong, is very scary, but... just feels very, very playable for me. Especially if I could trade a bishop off. So let's do that. Let's offer my opponent a bishop trade. Is that a blunder? That might have been a blunder. I think they have bishop c6. Ah, oh, damn it. Okay, they don't play it. That's fortunate. That's very fortunate. Wow. Incredibly, incredibly fortunate. Let's play here, attacking this, but the idea is to go to a7 and pick this up. So I assume the king will come over or something, and then... Okay, well now I just go here, right, and my advantage lies in pushing these pawns up the board. But my opponent's advantage, you know, it's quite a scary one over this side of the board, especially combining with a bishop that can just so quickly maneuver, but we should be fine just to pick this up. It's nice my king being on a dark square as well, just by default from when we castled. Obviously, if they had a dark square bishop, we need to be, like, you know, wary of forks, but not an issue currently. Let's just pick this up, and then look to just move in and start trading, I guess. I mean, it might be a draw. Like, yeah, it might just be a draw. I don't know. Let's go here. If you push, I then push. Right? Threatening just to pick this up. If you go here, will I go here? Or maybe just here. You know, I feel like we have good options. I feel like we have good options currently. Don't see how we can go too wrong. It'd be nice to also cut this king off, if possible, but might be asking for a bit much there. Very congested position it feels like around this area. I'm actually quite terrified. I don't know why I'm scared. Like, I could see my opponent resigning any minute. But I have to prove that I'm better here, right? It's not actually so clear. Don't like it. I think we're fine. You go here. I mean, you'd just be giving this pawn up. Yeah, now I just definitely play here. You can't stop me from taking this. But if you move your bishop as well, I take with check, and then I'm picking up the bishop also. You also want to be careful that when I take, you're not pinned, because then I'm picking up your bishop also, right? Like, there's so many scary factors here for my opponent. Probably just want to move back if I were them. And just let me take with check. Maybe you block. Maybe I come back and pick this up. But then I am just flying a pawn up the board. You'd have to trade off your bishop. Pick that up. You go back so I don't have this check. Makes sense. But I can presumably just trade this off. And then just fly the pawn up the board. Nice! Takes. Shame I... Could I have played this first? Why am I looking off into the distance like I'm an absolute gangster? I'm not that guy, pal. Trust me, I'm not that guy. They're going to have to trade this bad boy off. They actually don't really have a choice. And they also want to be careful. Yeah, makes more sense. Maybe I should have played here. Oh, well, it's not of a concern to me. I'm just going to start picking these up. Maybe you go here now, though. Nope, okay. We'll pick that up. We'll take with check. Don't block, because then I push them. Uh-oh, don't take the pawn. You're going to get pinned. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. This is how you just convert. You just trade off the rook for the bishop. Fascinating. You're pinned. I don't have to take. Because if I did take, that would be, you know, very problematic. Do I go here? I mean, I could just take, in reality. And then take, and then take, and then take, and then you're no longer in the square, right? Nice. Yeah, let's do that. You're not in the square. Hope we calculated that correctly. Otherwise, that's very problematic. But I don't think you're anywhere near. I think you're just one move too late, yeah, and they just resign. Nice, let's actually just make sure they were a move too late. They were. Beautiful stuff, because here, and then here, but you're just too slow, right? You're always one away, and then this is very, very easy to convert. And for those of you that don't know, the square means when I push here, they're just too far away. Wait, the square, how does this even make sense? Because isn't this the square? Oh yeah, that's the square, and you're not in it. I was like, why isn't this making sense, right? Because you'd always be here, right? You're just one move outside of this square if you draw it with the arrows, and so you're not close enough, thankfully. We're going to slab game review in the forehead and see how we got on. I mean, I think we played a relatively sound game. It was like 50-odd moves, so accuracy is naturally going to be a bit lower, though 88.9 is nice. You know, I'm actually very happy with that, given the duration of the game being, like I say, 45-50 moves. But let's go for it. A Philidor, so obviously I'm here hoping that they'll let me play my Scotch repertoire and, you know, go into some semblance of the classical variation, whether that be allowing me to play a Blumenfeld or not. People don't really go for this line anymore against me because it's so easy to go wrong on this move for black. Only move queen h4. You know, most people will take here and end up getting their queen trap, for example. Very easily done. But my opponent plays d6. Instantly, I wanted to hurl myself out of the window. I always play d4 here. I'm very attacking. I like to just absolutely dominate the center. They take, knight takes, h6. Let's actually analyze queen takes quickly, because it's not a bad move necessarily. Just knight c6. Maybe I just pin you instead. Yeah, once bishop b5 or queen a4. Bishop b5 probably being the candidate line. What about this? Then I play queen d3. Fascinating. If here, I just take, knight c3. Okay. Instead, knight takes. They play h6, presumably stopping the bishop from coming to g5 before they develop the knight. I don't know. Knight c3, a6. I mean, these are not serious moves. They need to develop their pieces very, very quickly. Bishop f4, knight to f6. Bishop's d3. It doesn't like this at all. I wonder why that is. Because of c5. Yeah. Apparently there's a very quick c5 here. Knight f3. Knight h5. What if I just go bishop e3? You just develop? I don't know. Apparently, I guess this looks way more equal. I've allowed them some tempo and... Yeah, okay. Bishop d3 not good. Bishop e7. Queen c2 is nice. They play c5. Knight f3. Bishop e6. e5, maybe this was a bit premature. It wanted me to short castle. But like I say, I like to attack. Knight takes on e5. I just trade off and I long castle. Best move, beautiful stuff. Queen c6, rook e1. What would happen if you just took? My idea was to play bishop here. Wow. There's this. What? Queen e3. So we're going down material, but like, how are you stopping this attack? Rook d8. I just take. It wants queen g4, offering me a queen trade. Queen e3. Apparently this is just very uncomfortable to play against. Rook e1. I mean, just look at this attack. Maybe there's even ideas of, like, if they just do nothing, would I not just have this? Because if you take here, it's mate, and obviously you can't take here. I just want short castles. Could I not then just take, or is there rook e8? Yeah. That wants queen takes c5. How do you come away from this? Queen f4 check, king d1, queen g4, back, here, and if I go to b1, it's queen g5? Why would you accept this? Ah, because if I take now, there's back rank mate. Wow, okay, that's insane. Okay, well, rook d8, I play queen e2, b5, bishop e4, knight takes. I take the rook with check first, and then I pick this up. It actually wants me to go into this line. This just did not look favourable to me at all. Can they just castle here? No, because then I guess I pick that up. So maybe bishop e7 first. I mean, I'd still be looking at playing some trades, probably. But this doesn't look particularly encouraging. Wow, okay. So knight takes e4 is a mistake. Okay. Queen f3, bishop e5. I play queen e3. And this is obviously a blunder. We found a nice tactino. Just picking up material. And then I offer a trade, they take it. And now it's just about picking up as many pawns as possible, because my rook is much better at doing so than a bishop that can only be on one colour complex. Notice how I left these pawns on dark squares. This is a light squared bishop. It's not getting close to these, right? It's just impossible. And so we trade that off, and we just push, right? We just fly. Take, take. And then my plan, just pin the bishop, right? So if you were to just push, which is exactly what happened, I can promote and you cannot take because, well, you know, I'd take the king. So king g1. The easiest way to convert this is just take. I mean, there is a mate apparently if I just play queen a7, setting this up. I did see this like X-ray idea, but I just thought, what about this? But it just wants queen e3 now, and I guess this is absolutely terrifying because the king has to move. Your bishop and pawn can't. Wow. But easiest way I saw to convert was just trade everything off. Obviously, if they push here, Well, they can't, right? If they take, they can't. Queen here, guarding, you have to take. And queen takes on g2. It doesn't like it, but, you know, they're not getting close to my pawn. I'm going to convert a queen and king versus king every day of the week. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy, please smash that like button like there is no tomorrow. Hype the video. Comment if you made it this far. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.